Hello and welcome to Tiko update number 6. A lot has happened over the past couple of days, um, actually quite a few weeks now, since Tiko has shipped out the 100 printers to the Chinese backers. It seems that everybody has lost their marbles. And, I've said before that people all of a sudden become shipping experts, manufacturing experts, business experts, all sorts of experts the second they back a Kickstarter project. And they think that they have say in the company. And that's not how Kickstarter works. Also, people seem to think that Kickstarter is a store and treat it like a store and say it's a store and repeat that it's a store, and it's not. It's not a store. You're giving money in hopes that you get that investment, and I use that term loosely, back as a product. But you may not. And they can do basically what they want with that investment. If they misuse their funds and they can prove that they don't have any money, then they don't have to give you a refund. That's my understanding of it. It's happened several times. And there are even products that have been successful and made their product, but the product was not what people thought it was. Or they've had to transform it. And sometimes it takes longer than what they think it will take, and they're allowed to take as long as they can. And that's just the way everything goes. People are saying that Tiko's been silent because they haven't had an official update. However, they've been answering questions. Their last post was on August 10th, and they answered some questions there, and I'll put that the link to that in the description. They answered questions about Z-Hop. They answered questions about why they don't have a magnetic jack for the plugin. And they even joked about that they wanted to embed a circuit that would allow Tiko to receive power from a Tesla coil, which I think that would be awesome. I think they've done a pretty good job of answering most of the questions and concerns. One thing that people were really upset about is that there's one backer that is trying to get a refund. I guess I have no idea, but basically he's just being an ass to everybody, but by just trolling the shit out of Tiko every hour. And I don't think he understands that he can send a message directly to Tiko on Kickstarter instead of just leaving it in the comments. They don't care what you put in the comments. It has no effect on them. Because the average person will just look at your comment and be like, wow, you're a crazy, crazy asshole. And that's exactly who he is. And I sent a message to Tiko the other day and immediately got a response. So I don't understand why he can't just send them a message every single day to annoy them. And then eventually he'll probably get what they want. But if you look at this person's profile and look at all the comments and look at all the stuff that they've backed, they have literally shit-talked every single thing that they have backed. It's ridiculous. This is an unhappy person who will never be satisfied. And Tiko just needs to see them gone, either by giving them a refund or shipping them a printer and just saying, here, you got your product, walking away. And that's what they need to do, and I hope that's what they do, and I hope they do it quick, because he's really ruining it for everybody else. Everybody else is contributing, giving good information, and is actually being constructive and asking questions and being like, why haven't you done it this way? What about this way? Have you thought about this? What about that? Wow, that really doesn't look that good, or wow, this really does look good. Stuff like that. This person, just a complete ass, and he's a complete ass to all of the Kickstarters he has backed, and I'm sorry for all of those people. But Tiko did kind of address that in one of their updates on August 9th. They go, hey guys, wow, what a show. Thank you so much for being to the supportive backers and to those who give us constructive feedback. To those who wish to rant, unconstructively criticize, or lob conspiracy theories and accusations at us, don't expect to be dignified with a response. We've worked too hard and made too many sacrifices to come here and argue with you, just because you've lost your nerve at the first sign of trouble. So, people saw that as Tiko, again, they took that as a conspiracy. No, Tiko's saying, look, these people are assholes. We're not going to feed them. We're not going to give them attention. And what they're saying is untrue, and we're going to keep our heads up and keep going. I mean, you have to keep your team motivated. If you don't, then that's when everything falls apart. And negative comments like that and unconstructive comments like that cause your team to fall off the bandwagon. Even if it's not even conscious, they'll just do it. And because they're like, man, you know, what are we doing? We can't make anybody happy, yada, 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 because the happy people are silent. I'm fine with what's been going on because I understand the difficulty of manufacturing stuff. That's why I haven't done it. So I think people need to just simmer down and really take a second and look at everything. I believe they'll probably be doing an update here soon, maybe Monday, maybe today. I have no idea. But things have definitely gotten out of hand. And before I get to some experiments that a Chinese backer did, I'm going to address a comment where it's just so funny. So someone in the Kickstarter comments posted the terms of service of Kickstarter, that the contract between creator and the backer, and then proceeded to say that if they want their shipping money back paid in full, and they want a proportionate sum of any remaining pledge funds, which being 1 out of 16,338 is likely nothing. So they only really want their shipping money back if Tiko does not ship their product within 2 weeks from August 12th. So today. If they don't confirm that the printer is being shipped. And he understands that it may lack some element of functionality. The problem with that is that I don't know what he's going to do if they don't do that, because they probably won't. If they do, it'll just be a coincidence. But they don't have to declare that. Obviously, he did not read the terms of service. All it really states is that they have to prove, if they have no money, that they have no money. That's all that they have to prove. And a lot of Kickstarters have done that, which really upsets people about Kickstarter. It makes them worry about Kickstarter, because in the end, you could just get nothing and your money is gone. So I don't know where he's reading where he can make demands. Plus, what is he going to do? Sue? Because it's going to cost them a hell of a lot more money to sue I believe they're in Canada, but I have no idea where their home base is. But this poster is in the UK. It's going to cost more than $179, the price of the printer, to sue them. So it's not worth it. And his demands are ridiculous. People just need to calm down. And he thinks that the delay, again, everybody thinks that the Chinese backers are some sort of conspiracy theory. They're not. We're going to get to a post by one, and we're going to discuss it here in a second. This is just so, it's so bad. It's just gotten way, 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 way out of hand. And most of it is just people, but some of it is Tiko not up to comments. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm not going to blame Tiko fully because it's not their job to please everybody. It's their job to make a product, and that's what they need to focus on. That's what they need to do, and that's all I expect. And every once in a while, answering questions and making an update. And they've answered questions and posted comments. And again, like I said, I sent them a message and they immediately got back to me. Why don't people just do that? Please, if you have a question for Tiko, please send them a direct message on the Kickstarter page and they will answer you in a more direct way. That's what it's there for. Anyway, let's get to these print experiments, and I'll have pictures up of the prints. And these are from Danny Yu, I think. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, Danny. If you're watching this, tell me how to pronounce your name down below. I got your first name hopefully correct, unless somehow it is just not pronounced Danny. But anyway, Danny did some experiments. I'll read his post here from him. So part 1, experiments. He did a few experiments to understand more about the properties of Tiko's current limitations. So these are Tiko's current limitations, as I believe the team is still working on the firmware, which is correct. I've used their slicer to emulate what they aim to be the intended native working parameters. Manual calibration was used for these prints because the auto calibration is even further behind in the firmware. So keep in mind, these prints are from the Tiko software 100%, not using third-party software. So experiment 1 was, the purpose was, how does it fare with flat edges? So it does good at thin layering, good at flat edges. It does not do good at right angles, large dimensions, uncertainty of roughly +1 millimeter, lots of threads and empty spaces. So as you can see, I'll have on the screen, it's just a small little hollow square, and you can see that there's strings and that the right angles are kind of are bad. But again, keep in mind, this is from the Tiko software itself, which is not up to snuff, and they have admitted it. As you've seen on other previous videos, using third-party slicer creates a good print. So again, keep that in mind. So experiment number 2 is a circle. How does it fare with rounded edges? So does not do good at curved edges, large dimension uncertainty of roughly 1 millimeter, not circular, somewhat like a rounded hexagon. You can see that for sure. Uneven diameter of roughly 1 millimeter, lots of threads and empty spaces. So as you can see here, trying to get a circle built, it is awful. This is probably the worst print I've seen Tiko do from its own slicer. So then experiment 3 to see if it can do chamfered edges. So validate experiment 1 and 2 and observe obtuse angles. Good at thin layering, good at flat edges. Not sharp, but obtuse angles are smooth. So the chamfered is good. If you look here at the pictures, you can tell that edge is good. However, the curved edges are bad. And again, there is strings in the middle. So that's again getting better. You're dialing into what the Tiko software at this point is good at. So now he did obtuse angles to validate obtuse angle findings in experiment 3 that it can do that really well. And it did. Validated that. Again, strings and stuff in the center, but the sides of it are good. So then he did a best case scenario validation. So prove the ideal working conditions, all 4 were used in the findings. So indeed, under the findings, the ideal conditions of the print was beautiful. So this is best case scenario, basically all sharp, flat angles, and it looks good. Which is exactly what the findings would have proven. So basically, it can do low polygon based prints, basically. So, and then worst case scenario, and this is really bad. This is to prove the limiting conditions of circular items. So when a circle was oriented differently, Tiko, being good at precise layering, was able to produce a very circular shape. There were no longer any sweaty beads, since curved edges are done by layering, validated by inverse. When the square was oriented differently, right angles produced by the layering is nice and sharp, validated by inverse. Since flat edges of both the circle/square become the sides, the sweaty right angles appeared. Since layering are no longer one smooth motion, more threads appeared, especially near the edges. Small objects are unreliable. So if you look here at the pictures, they don't look good. However, it did get a pretty decent circular shape. I'll give them that. And then the screw thing that he printed, which I've seen before, is not good. So this proves that the Tiko software is not ready. It is not ready. It does not prove that the hardware is bad, because the third-party software makes it print really, really well. So I'm glad that he did this. I asked him to do the same experiments with a third-party slicer, just so we have a comparison of how far behind their software is. He said that he was going to do that. However, first he was going to continue with thinner layer tests, but his printer, the filament got stuck, and so he has to fix that. So hopefully he does do the third-party slicer prints, so just so we have something to compare. If he doesn't, I will reach out to somebody else and see if they can do it with theirs in the meantime. So basically, people just need to calm down. And I bet you people are going to turn into lawyers now. They're going to turn into lawyers. They're going to know the law. I mean, we already have one person doing it. People are going to follow suit. Just calm down. I know Tiko said that they were going to ship in November of 2015. That, even back then, I knew was ridiculous. It takes a lot more to bring something to market. A lot longer than that. It takes a lot longer than what they're doing right now. The fact that it shipped in July was surprising to me. Things take time. Things happen. You can't just come to market overnight. You have to do a lot of work. And while doing that work, more work shows up. That's just the facts of manufacturing and creating a product. And I think people just need to calm down. They need to take a deep breath and just realize that what they've gotten so far is a lot better. Is a lot better than what other Kickstarters have done. I was a backer of Ouya. I don't remember getting any communication from them. I don't remember anything like that. And when I finally got the product, after they said it was so great, it was so good, it didn't do anything. It was all around bad. It took so long that it wasn't, the hardware in it wasn't worth it. Tikos hardware is worth it. It's the software that's not. And quality control will come. But the software is what's lacking right now. And I can live without that. And I think the majority of the backers can live with that too. And use third-party stuff. So hopefully within a couple days they'll do an update and say that they're shipping stuff out. That's what I hope. Hopefully I get one as part of that. I have no idea. Probably not. Again, I'm way up. I'm like right about 12,000 backer number. So who knows? But please, just everybody keep calm and, go ahead and ask questions. But the conspiracy theories, the trolling, the bullshit, it doesn't help anybody. If you want to troll Tiko, send them a personal message. And then maybe just say on the comments, if you really have to, oh, I'm trolling Tiko by sending him messages and this is my demands. Whatever, I don't care. But you don't need to post a comment every hour, on the hour, just because you're self-employed and live at home. It's dumb. Just don't. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And let's just hope that Tiko ships soon. Those 1,000 printers, just so people can calm down. Yeah. Please dislike if you dislike, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you in the next update.